Hello everyone, and welcome to another Hunter x Hunter manga read along. This time we are starting from the very end of chapter 346, which I already read last week. And then I'm going to continue to 347 and 348. And then I have to read the Kurapika backstory. And there's 2 chapters, but they're a little bit longer than regular chapters. And I only really have time for 3 chapters total today. So either it's going to be 2 end, or I could do 2 plus half of Kurapika. And then next time I start with the second chapter to the Kurapika backstory. So it's not ideal, but we do what we can. In the live chat, we have Odinoko, Menti, Booty, Killer 92, Jolly D, Joestar, Booty, Sotos, Hunter. And a big shout out to Spyler for dropping 25,000 bits before the stream. And also to Antonio for his bits, and then he had to go to work. Actually, I don't know if Antonio reads Hunter x Hunter. Maybe he was just here for Zenless. I'm not sure. But shout out to Antonio nonetheless. Thank you everyone for your support. Let's finish up, or not finish up, but to recap the last pages of chapter 346, just so that I can orient myself. So Kurapika failed all of Beyond's assassins, right? And this assassin doesn't look like he's in a good mood, and he looks at Jing and he says, "Aren't you from the association? Get out of here." That's a misunderstanding. Since I want to be free to do what I want at the destination, I lean towards Beyond. As long as there's risk, incredible risk, I understand why the V5 is being careful. So I will follow the minimal procedure required, and worst case, I don't have to come back. The difference between Beyond and me is that for him, the adventure continues until we bring back the fruits of the voyage. So I'll gladly help Beyond be free, but I can't give Pariston a pause. What he wants is destruction disguised as perverted love. And then I made a joke to the live chat about Pariston maybe being Hisoka's brother. They both seem to have some kind of perversions, to say the least. My goal is to help Beyond and deter Pariston. Can you understand? And then the assassin guy says, I cannot. Spyler being at Tsun Tsun, dropping bitches when we can't see, and then be like, it's not like I care about you or anything. Now calm down. It's clear that Jing doesn't side with the association. I don't get what's going on. I thought earlier most of you were against letting him join. Yes, we met horribly and still hate his guts. But see how it goes for a few days. You'll see he is someone that we need. I can't wait. Our real boss is Beyond. We don't care who an irrelevant number 2 is. 1, Pariston. 2, Jing. Decide now who's going to leave. I don't really understand. I think I remember saying this last time, but I don't really understand why either has to leave. Like, it's not like they're fighting about who's number 2. Jing is number 2 and Pariston is just there. Why does one of them have to leave at all? This is a very dangerous plan. Isn't it like the more the better? Actually, there are 3 options. Number 1, wait. No, there's 4. Jing is finally in the mood to do this. I wish you wouldn't interfere. So the first option is Pariston leaves. The second option is Jing leaves. The third option is you guys leave. And then Pariston says the fourth option, you die. Dun dun dun. So here we go. Now we can actually start the new content, and chapter 347 is called Inauguration. In that case, there are 5 options. Both of you die. And then they whip out some machine guns. Ba 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 ba. Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. And I don't know, shit just explodes. Like, okay, you have to. Sorry, I don't really try not to show the visuals too much cause copyright, fair use, blah blah blah. So you have to have your own place to read. I'm reading on Shonen Jump app. What are you doing? Stop it! Are you seriously trying to kill them? Stay out of it. Block the exits. They're going into the. I know. They're like just pissed that they failed. And now they're taking it out on like whoever or whatever they can. It's like. They're moody. What are they? Going through menopause? Good. Chase them in. Careful. Oh, they were going into the basement. A suit who's all talk and a weakling who gets clobbered by a rookie. I've always hated how overhyped you've been. This is a fine opportunity. Oh, shoot. Is this guy supposed to represent the part of the fandom that doesn't like how overhyped Gon's dad was? Is it like that kind of scene that is kind of being used to show the viewers, the readers, finally, this is why Jing has been hyped up. Like, finally, you will get to see who he is. Their boiling point is too low. A firefight right off the bat? You're not as crazy as they say. It's an image I built up slowly with small crazy stunts. And shut up. Oh. You provoked them in the first place. Hey, I just went along with what you said. They can't back down now. Shall we fight? Sure, a bit. Ooh. They're emitters that have to conjure guns. Piece of cake. You sure you want to let me see? Sure, it's no problem. So he's using his powers and he does this, like, it just looks like he's. Oh, okay. So it's like he warms up his arms and then ba 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 he punches into the ground. That looks pretty cool. But what did it do? So he punches into the ground and what is that? Sweat? So this is Sotos. I know you might be listening. Hi, Felix. So Pariston is watching closely. And he says, this is Leorio's? Oh, I don't even remember. It's been so long. I honestly don't fully remember what Leorio's power was. I remember Kurapika's power. So kapow! They get thrashed. An ability that copies other people's abilities? It's nothing so extravagant. I can generally imitate any punching ability I've been hit with. It's just a talent I have. Leorio had the teleporting punch he landed on Jing. Okay, so he can copy any punching ability that he's been hit with. But he says it's a talent I have. Like, that's not his real power. That's just something he's good at. You know, like how some people have a talent for singing, and if they hear a note, they can imitate a way of singing or whatever. I'm not sure that you don't have to explain it yet, but I'm not sure now that that's his actual power. But I mean, it kind of has to be because it has to be because it's, we'll see. Too quiet. Were all three taken out? Do we go? No. There may be a signal. Leorio is studying to be a doctor. He must have been practicing palpating patients like this. Using his aura like an ultrasound, two of them beyond this wall. Oh, I see. Here and here. And destroying tumors and blood clots from the outside. Ooh. When they're impossible to reach through surgery, like this. And then he shoots through the wall and takes them both out. Nobody else? Maybe they gave up. Nah. I bet they think their mission is complete. You got them to put on an act, right? It was pretty obvious this was arranged. It was. There were some rough patches, but the biggest mistake was when the pissed off Mohawk left out the option for both of us to leave. I guess that would have risked me actually taking them up on it. Oh, because he's only really there because of Pariston. If they both leave, if Pariston also leaves, he can leave because he's mainly going because of Pariston, and Pariston can't risk that. I took them on out of respect for their having to follow such a crappy script. Do it yourself next time. If you want to see my ability so badly. Ooh, he read him like a book. Oh, that obvious? I thought I was doing pretty well. Yeah, right. Have you no self-awareness? A 2x4 would have played it better. I'm so mad. That's what you sounded like. I am so mad. I might have to kill you anyway. I'm more worried about your troops than your acting. They're not strong enough to face the Dark Continent. They're support personnel at best. That's no problem, because they are there to cover for us. Our main job is scouting and providing extra firepower and fire cover. Cover fire. He does the shooting. A symbiotic type? Exactly. He conjures heavy firearms. A ride-along emitter provides the bullets. Much more powerful than each of them fighting separately. So there's a robot thing. Oh, sorry. A symbiotic type. What is symbiotic means when two things are dependent on each other to survive or to live, like a fungus and a mushroom. So, funny story. I used to take regular vitamin D, which is made from apparently like the wax of sheep's wool. So the sheep don't actually have to die. But it's still an animal derived product, right? So, but recently I learned about this really good brand, and it happens to be vegan. So it doesn't use any animal derived products. Even though I think that whole thing is like, because the amount of animals that die when in the farming of almonds to make the ridiculous amount of almond milk. But anyway, this is so random, sorry. Now I switch to a vitamin D that is made from the symbiotic relationship between the mushroom and the fungus. I don't know if it's any better yet. I'll tell you in a month or two. I don't think it's completely like Paris. Maybe, but Paris eventually dies. They both need each other. It feels like Paris doesn't need the mushrooms on top of it. But the mushrooms need Paris until Paris dies, and the mushroom can live on its own as parasect. So in a true symbiotic relationship, you actually want to keep both alive, right? So that's why it's called Paris for parasite, because the parasite needs the Paris, but Paris doesn't need the parasite. Okay, but anyway, there's a symbiotic robot. So the robot thing shoots, and the users provide the bullets. So he also sent the Nen weapons to them. There's a lot he can do, huh? Who? He conjures heavy firearms. A ride-along emitter provides the bullets. A ride-along emitter. Much more powerful than each of them fighting separately. So how many of these do they have? He also sent the Nen weapons. There's a lot he can do. It's been demonstrated that it's much more efficient than carrying real guns for Nen bullets for longer engagements. Scouts and cover fire personnel plus him make up the 11-man task force Stonewall, the only legendary mercenary crew to fight in the Lubo Civil War without a casualty. Wow. What's your name? People call me Golem. I don't answer. Other questions. People call me Golem. I don't answer. ... Other questions. Oh wait, that's the weapon speaking? Is someone inside there at this moment? He's been like this all 3 years that I've known him. I don't know his voice, face, or real name. 3 years he's known him. Figured. Got a lot of don't talk to me vibes. So, Mujer, you lead the soldiers, right? Can you tell them to take my money? Take my money! Can I be honest here? I wouldn't have had any problem with you becoming number 2 if you hadn't brought up the subject of money. You know mercenaries value trust between each other more than anything. The faintest whiff of a rumor about switching sides for money, and you're out of the crew. All talk of money is extremely uncomfortable unless it's clean, simple, and upfront. Like how books on a shelf or the remote control on the coffee table have to be just so. We don't want anything different. But he was being upfront about it. He was upfront. Some wanted out the minute they found out about your remarks. I'm pretty upset about it myself. Care to explain this for me? Well, I don't know what to say. I can only apologize. I'm sorry for the confusion, but I can't take it back now since the others already took the money. How about if I make a deposit in the Norwell Fund? The Norwell Fund, Family of Fallen Soldiers Relief Fund, is a charitable foundation that provides financial, psychological, employment, educational, and childcare support for surviving families of mercenaries who die in battle. Oh, can I try and read that again? The Norwell Fund, Family of Fallen Soldiers Relief Fund, is a charitable foundation that provides financial, psychological, employment, educational, and childcare support for surviving families of mercenaries who die in battle. Norwell was a soldier who provided financial assistance to one-way people, child soldiers, refugees, and the poor whose options are limited. Then others started to contribute to his individual account. This miracle account uses a unique 3-generational deposit system formed only through trust among depositors. That's very important because it's sad how many charities that are supposed to go towards helping others. Like, the thing is, the bigger an organization gets, the more people are involved in running it. And the more people are involved in running it, the further it gets from its original, goal of actually helping people. And then you can't really watch what everyone's doing. And that's when people start taking chances. But if there's like a system or something to keep everyone on the straight and narrow, great. Are you serious? If you create a grandchild account to send money, you'll be considered a mercenary. You can't refuse a parent's orders. You wouldn't accept anything less. Everyone has joint management of that account, so there won't be any weird rumors. I just don't get it. Why do you want to give us the money so much? What the heck is it? Well, I often run my mouth first and come up with the reason why I said it afterwards. This time is typical. That's why I'm causing problems for you. The biggest is I figured nobody would be blinded by greed. So when they accepted the money, it was really showing that they accepted me. And I think I was happy to be surrounded by like-minded idiots. I don't understand that at all. Anyone want to is there a Reddit page that explains it? I figured nobody would be blinded by greed. If he gave them enough money, they wouldn't be blinded by greed. Because then they'd already have the money they want. At first, I was mad about this interference with a voyage I was secretly looking forward to. But Beyond had been preparing way before me. So I came here without getting my feelings in order first. I just wanted to lodge a complaint. But I surprised myself when the first thing I said upon arriving here was let me in on it. I don't really remember why I offered money. What was it, Masher? I remember asking him. The cause was his quarrel with Pariston. He seemed to me a dangerous man, and he was provocative throughout, a sower of chaos. But in light of their discord over the former chairman and Jing's personal feelings towards the continent, allowances could be made. At the time, I didn't know the circumstances, and since Jing suddenly and unilaterally declared a personnel change, I acted to bring the chaos under control, preparing to go into battle along with Marion. To prioritize a logical solution, I asked Jing about the merits of modification to the chain of command. I see. I get it now. I don't. There's a long conversation. I don't understand what's going on. And you concluded with money. I tried to be cool, but I thought nobody would have a problem with money. I guess that makes sense. He was coming in all cool. He wanted to be number 2. And then was like, take my money. Take my money. He didn't think money would mean anything to them. Why? Money means something to everyone. Unless you're... No, money means... Like, they're there for... I don't really understand. My history with Pariston is a bit complicated. I don't want to agitate things, but I really do want to demote him and block his schemes. So, did he try and buy people's loyalty with money? He concluded they were already set on exploring the Dark Continent, so he assumed they wouldn't be swayed by money. But was he trying to sway them? Or he was just paying them? Did he try and buy their loyalty? And then everyone, and he didn't think anyone would have a problem with that, but then they did. He says here he thought he was being cool. That makes sense to me. He thought he would waltz in there. He wants to just make sure that Pariston has but he doesn't even care if they listen to Pariston. He just wants to be number 2 in name. I still don't understand, but maybe I'm not supposed to understand yet. I really do want to demote him and block his schemes, and I want to help Beyond's plan. The money is a gift, but also a calculated move. Whether you take it or not, you decide. Why don't you explain why? Okay, now the robot is talking. Everybody be quiet! The robot is talking! Why didn't you explain this in the first place? Oh, things would have gone more smoothly. Well, I mean, we're forcing him to explain, knowing he'd be embarrassed, in order to clear the confusion. Can't you infer that? Wow, this is all my fault. Fine, I'll make the others understand. But you'll send the money to Norwell Fund. First, let me confirm for you that I'm fine with you being number 2, but I'm the one leading the men on the scene, right? Of course. And since you're establishing a child account, you're a member of my team. Got it, number 2? My orders on the battlefield are absolute. The only answers will be in the affirmative. Sir, yes, sir! Well, if that's fine with you, it's fine with us. The others won't object as long as Parston accepts Jing as number 2. Yes, I just got everyone's agreement. Since we failed in infiltrating, you can openly send everyone the money. I'll send you the list. Congratulations on your inauguration. In name only. You can lead the way you've been leading. I refuse. I want to see what you can do. Oh, then I won't hesitate. So at the end of the chapter, it says 3-generational account. A parent account manages deposits from sub-accounts. All members can share and mutually manage information on withdrawals and purchases by all accounts. Then there's a child or sub-account, manages one or more grandchild account. A grandchild cannot refuse a child's dispatch orders. Operational procedures are the same as a grandchild account. And then a grandchild account, a deposit only, which all goes to the parent account. It has a designated credit card that can make purchases from associated stores. No usage limit. Okay. That was chapter 347, right? So I asked for, please explain chapter 347. After Jing takes everyone down, you discover that half the conflict was basically a staged workplace initiation mixed with Parston playing mind games. The key thing is the fight was not really a fight. This is what happened. Okay, but it's not the fight that I'm confused about. First, who are all these people? Jing and Parston have both joined Beyond Netaro's private expedition team for the Dark Continent. Parston was already effectively the number 2 figure in the group before Jing arrived. Jing then walked in and basically declared, I'm taking the number 2 position, partly because he wants to interfere with whatever Parston is planning. What I don't understand about that is that he wants to interfere, but he's taking only the name of number 2. Not the position, not the control. Naturally, Beyond's existing team was like, who the hell is this guy? Jing then offered them money, which made everything stranger. So what was the attack? It was staged. Muher and his soldiers were not genuinely trying to murder Jing and Parston was being behind the setup. Parston wanted to see what Jing could actually do, so the soldiers created a situation where Jing would seemingly be forced to reveal his Nen abilities. Jing realized this. The giveaway for Jing was the list of options. Okay. So Jing realized, you're not actually trying to get rid of us. Parston told you to do this because he wants to see me fight, which makes the panel afterward much funnier. Because Parston was like looking and Jing said, if you want to see my ability so badly, fight me yourself next time. But the Jing did reveal something interesting. He uses Leorio's remote punch technique, and Parston immediately thinks, oh, you can copy Nen abilities? But Jing explains that it's not a Nen ability that lets him copy abilities. Rather, Jing is apparently such a ridiculous Nen genius that he can imitate punching techniques that he's personally been hit by. So Jing apparently understood the mechanics of Liorio's technique after experiencing it and can reproduce it. So it still kind of seems to me at this point like it's not, this is just his talent. Like, he's not actually his power. I don't know how to explain it, but you also don't need to explain it yet. He thinks about why Leorio would have developed that ability. Leorio wants to become a doctor, so Jing theorizes that Leorio probably developed the technique while experimenting with ways to send aura through objects, like ultrasound. Jing then goes, if Leorio designed this for medicine, and then he reverse engineered additional applications on the spot, he sends aura through the wall, detects the soldiers, and then hits them like that. This is Togashi's way of going, by the way, Jing is terrifyingly talented at Nin. So, what the hell was the money conversation? This is probably the part that confused you, because suddenly they're talking about accounts and funds and hierarchy. Essentially, Jing admits something. He wanted the expedition team to accept him. So he was trying to act cool. Like, that makes sense to me. But the conversation made it feel like there was more going on, or like, I understand you thought you would be cool. I'll pay you double. You get my money. You get money. You get, like, who doesn't love throwing money around looking cool? Like, I'll buy everyone in this bar 2 shots. Like, who doesn't love to go, if you go to a wedding, you don't want to hear cash bar. You want to hear open bar, because that's like impressive, right? I don't know. He had originally wanted to explore the Dark Continent himself, but then Beyond came along with this enormous team that had already been planned, and Jing was annoyed that Beyond had basically beaten him to it. But after meeting Beyond's crew, Jing realizes these people are basically the same kind of lunatics I am. They're adventurers who genuinely want to explore the unknown, and he likes them. So when Jing offered the money, he wasn't trying to buy their loyalty. He knew these people were not the type who could be bought. His logic was more, if they accept the money, they're accepting me. But that is so, like, he might be a genius at Nen, but I think this is supposed to maybe reveal he's not that much of a genius at people. Like, but I mean, that's obvious. There's nothing wrong with, we're all otaku here. We understand that sometimes it's not difficult to read the room. Mujer was basically like, why couldn't you just say that? And Jing admits, I don't know, I started talking and it got out of hand. That's genuinely part of the explanation. He was trying to act cool and created this ridiculously complicated situation. Thank you. So, and that's what I said while I was reading. The moment Jing said, I was trying to be cool, like that, if that's all it was, okay. This is basically the compromise. Mujer agrees that the team will accept Jing's money, but it goes through the Norwell fund rather than Jing paying everyone personally. That means that Jing becomes properly incorporated into the structure. So Jing is officially the number 2, but Mujer is the battlefield commander. If they're actually out in the field and Mujer gives an order, Jing has to obey him, despite technically outranking him. That's why the chapter is called Inauguration. By the end, Jing has actually been accepted into the group as number 2. But even though Jing said he wants to mess Pariston's plans, he did not expect that the number 2 title to mean anything. Everyone can still listen to Pariston. But so, which makes no sense to me. What are you then doing? Luckily, I guess, Pariston, unless maybe he was playing mind games with Pariston, maybe he knew Pariston would react this way then. Because Pariston then said, fine, I'm not, wait. You have the power. And then Jing says, fine, I'm not holding back then. So the relationship has shifted. Both are playing 4D chess against each other while technically working towards the same expedition, and Pariston is loving it. So, to summarize, The fight was Parston testing Jing. The money was Jing trying to gain the team's acceptance. The ending is the team finally accepting Jing as number 2, and Jing versus Parston is now officially a game within the larger Dark Continent expedition. Next. Is that enough? Any final thoughts? Any questions? It seemed to me kind of like a roundabout way to tell us what kind of person Jing is and what kind of person Parston is. Hunter exam final test. This is the video recently distributed to the world. Wait, let's try this again. Chapter 348. Resolve. Hunter exam final test, a Q&A session. Tests on intelligence gathering, analytical ability, and applied skills. This is the video recently distributed to the world by Kakin and the Beyond Netero to declare the voyage to the Dark Continent. Answer 3 questions based on this video. Number 1. Did you have knowledge of this prior to the announcement? Number 2. If yes, explain how you got your information with as much detail as you can. If not, describe the ways you would theoretically be able to obtain such information beforehand. Question 3. What kind of economical, social, and cultural merits would you gain with such prior knowledge? I knew in advance, of course. I can't divulge my sources, unfortunately. The merits include advantages in futures, stocks, and infrastructure projects, but the Kakin family obviously benefits the most. Pass, he knows nothing. I knew ahead of time. I was offered a job relating to it. With the power balance between Kakin and the V5, I figured it was a good time to become a hunter. Fail, he's mixing truth into his lies. I'm ashamed to say I didn't know. I would look for connections with Kakin officials. Fail, he's hiding something important. I'm amazed. Indeed, I thought we eliminated most of the spies in the first round under the pretext of a psychological test. I didn't think so many could clear the thermography and lie detector. No, I'm talking about your ability. You were so modest about it, but it's almost as if it was made for this. Don't think too highly of it. It's true we uncovered more new spies than we expected, but there's no guarantee we haven't missed some. Is there a specific risk? I don't fully understand the mechanism of this ability myself. Since I can't use it without being face to face with the subject in my normal state, I can infer that through extreme focus, I'm detecting imperceptible changes that transcend my perception and transmit those to the chain. Emperor time further. What the hell does that mean? Emperor time further hones. Is that what it's called? Emperor time? It further hones the skill so that it's possible to detect them through video as long as I've met the subject before. Oh, emperor time. At least that's how I interpret this. However, the ability can only see through trained liars. Isn't that enough? What's the problem? If I were a spy and I needed to trick someone with an ability like this, I would seek out someone who can erase memories or manipulate the subconscious, not to hide the lie, but to erase it. If someone's unaware that he's lying, my chain probably won't react. I see. This begs the question. If someone in the upper echelons has a similar ability or knows someone with a similar ability, and is hiding with the enemy, they would circumvent the double layer trap in the hunter exam the way I described. Is there such a possibility? So that's his Scarlet Eyes Nen ability. So people wanted the Scarlet Eyes and hunted his people down for it. Most likely because, well, it's this rare thing, right? His Scarlet Eyes Nen ability, yes, he has his chain ability. I'm asking if they're different. All Scarlet Eyes enhance the person, but that's my question is like, maybe there's someone like people hunted down the red eyes because they were worth a lot, because the upper echelons of society, some of them, the Epsteins of the world, want it because it's rare. But what if someone thought they could extract the ability and apply it to themselves or something? So I think this is very important. If someone in the upper echelons has a similar ability or knows someone with a similar ability and he is siding with the enemy, they would circumvent the double layer trap in the hunter exam the way I described. So they could overcome his trap. And then the page ends with, is there such a possibility? And then we switch to a busy street and two rooms. What looks like two rooms or two. I can't really tell, but the one room looks very neat, everything in place. And the other room, I can't really tell, but it's a bit more packed. There's probably some kind of classical music playing in the background and a needle being stuck somewhere. And then we have this Epstein prince. He's listening to music, he's drinking wine, and he answers his phone. Seriednich. It's Benjamin. Hey, big brother. Good news. Dad agreed to the deal. So his older brother is wrestling a lion. Are you serious? Yes, he made the declaration. The sole survivor of this voyage will be the next king. Ah, dear God, thank you. Finally, I can freely dispose of all the rotten trash. Quake in your sleep, Benjamin. I will be the next king. Epstein thinks he can win. Seriednik is pronounced Seridnik. I will try to remember, but you might have to tell me again. So, Seridnik and Epstein. The king is putting his sons against each other like it's some kind of Hunger Game situation. What the hell? The dad is like, oh my god, my sons are too fucking expensive. Kill each other and the strongest one gets to be, or the smartest one, whatever, gets to be king. Yeesh. You think you can win? Are you high on something? A natural high. Did you tell everyone else? Dad's messengers will bring the brothers all the details. I wanted to let you know first. I'll get rid of you myself, you fucking bitch of a son of a holy freaking Epstein's poop face. Sorry. It is just random symbols, but I tried to fill it in with colorful language. Clearly, he doesn't like his brother. I'll break every bone in your body. Ooh, scary. Do you know what? Don't call me again, imbecile. And then he gets mad. He chokes the lion, or he breaks his neck. Men who swear indiscriminately and girls who say like a lot are fundamentally the same, don't you think? Like what? What do you want to say, Epstein? What do you want to say? Last night I went to bed too late because I started watching Epstein videos. And I was trying to, not his videos talking about him and the people involved. One was from a girl that was being interviewed by like TMZ or something, that said he was trying to create hell on earth. Like he thought of. The other video was analyzing his facial expressions in his last interview and basically saying the obvious, he's a fucking psychopath. And I was trying to see like who's been arrested actually. And there have only been like some arrests in the UK, but the arrests were only because of corruption. So like they revealed information to Epstein that they weren't supposed to, stuff like that. There's nothing about the actual, like, you know, the crimes. No one has been arrested for that because they say it's too difficult to prove, you know, when it comes to sexual assault and wada. It's too difficult to prove. And what was the other thing? It's too difficult to prove. And the statute of limitations, like some of the things happened too long ago or something. But I think that also has to do more with like political stuff than the sexual allegations. And then I read about some video that they made. Some of the survivors came together saying, we're going to release names. But they made a video about we're gonna. They didn't make the video naming anyone or saying anything that happened. And it made me think of, like, here in South Africa, there's a huge, it's called the Big Five political corruption. Like, even the president is involved. And whistleblowers kept saying they're gonna say something, but then people keep dying. And then nothing ever comes out. This whole TOXIN business hits a little bit too close to home, guys. Oh, it's hurting my head. Anyway, I try not to, because you can get stuck down a rabbit hole and it can like completely frustrate you. So it's been weeks since I actually was looking at videos and stuff, trying to figure things out. But no one can, because they're hiding so much. But that doesn't mean we should stop talking about it. Anyway, I'm still gonna keep calling him Epstein. So he clearly thinks of himself as this genius, this like he's above, he's smarter than people like his brother, girls that say like. He listens to classical music and drinks wine and dissects people for fun. Men who swear indiscriminately and girls who say like are fundamentally the same, don't you think? And now there's another guy who's tattooing himself? Or he's tattooing a woman? What is she being hung like a pig in a slaughterhouse? So the lion is dead, his head is ripped off, and the woman is hanging in the background, and he puts his phone down and he calls someone else. Theta, how'd it go? All 5 passed with stipulations. Oh shit. Just as Kurapika said. The game was rigged since the association requested cooperation beforehand. Though restricting us to 15 employees on board per prince was godsend. A godsend. There were other princes with the same idea. Well, anyone who's not an idiot would do this. The more trusted allies, the better. We siblings don't get along to begin with, and we have to spend so long cooped up on the same ship. One thing, we were warned that lying in response to any of their questions would result in elimination. Considering the possibility of a machine, we explained our affiliation, orders, and the complicated relationship between the princes concerning succession. No problem. Good job. Benjamin's the eldest and Tyson's the 6th prince guards did not come, right? Benjamin. Oh, wait. This guy's real name is Soraidnik. And this one is Benjamin, the lion guy. No, wait. Yes. And then there's a Tyson, the 6th prince. Very perceptive. May I ask how you knew for future reference? Pride and envy. Benjamin can't stand to have the association judge his superior soldiers. Tyson can't stand to have his precious soldiers go outside and have anyone else touch them. Did any guard fail the exam? Yes. The 7th Luzurusus soldiers all failed and they were arguing with the association. An idiot who jumped the gun. I bet he suggested assassination to his men without thinking there might be lie detectors. Well done. When you get back, revert to regular duty. I will let you know about on-board positions and orders. Get the Black Whale's floor plan and tell everyone to memorize it. The 7 deadly sins are missing something. Overreaching vanity. Not realizing your own ignorance is the greatest sin of all. Any pig offal becoming king instead of me is unacceptable. Out of the question. Seeing a person like this, even if they're not real, you know that these people exist in the real world, sadly, but seeing it, it's like, it's so exhausting. It takes so much out of you just to like read his... I don't think there's a possibility. On what basis? Keep in mind, this is mostly speculation. This cow is, I'm suspicious. I'm suspicious. Keep in mind, this is mostly speculation. It's unlike any of the zodiacs have the ability in question. Unlikely, only because I don't know everyone's ability, but we will soon find out. There were 3 factions in the original zodiacs. 3 factions. In normal missions, we often worked within factions because that's how we got along. Each knows the abilities of the members within the faction. So you had the volatile idiot That was Jing. Then you have in this team, Pariston. It looks like Pariston is like extreme left patriot, incomprehensible. Proponents for reform, hawks. Prioritize balance, moderate, conserve. So wait. These were the factions within the organization. He is called the volatile idiot. Okay. These three, the bird, the monkey, and the rabbit, are proponents for reform. They are called hawks. Then you have Pariston, which is an extreme left patriot, incomprehensible. What does that even mean, an extreme left patriot? Then you have the liberal apolitical ones, which is the horse that looks like a rat, the tiger, and the snake girl. Then you have the moderates, moderate conservative, the bull, the cow, the dog, and the mythical sea creature. What is this called again? He looks like that mythical Onibozu, or I don't know what he actually is in the zodiac. This time, we will split into specialized teams. To enable cooperation, I requested that all zodiacs share information on their abilities. And everyone agreed. So, defense, science, flora, fauna, information. Everyone understands the importance of the mission and they want to prove their innocence. Does that apply to me too? No, Leorio told me about your situation. I won't press for details about your ability and I won't divulge whatever I hear. But then I won't be able to share our abilities either, unfortunately. That's fine. Thank you for understanding. Oh, he's a sheep? He looks like an umibozu. So then Kurapika kind of like laughs. Hey. What? I was just thinking, things wouldn't go so smoothly if I was here by myself. Everything is so much better with Leorio as a go-between. He's a huge help to us too. So, to continue, since we will be sharing information, there won't be anyone with the ability in question. And among acquaintances, that would be a no as well. We examined the detailed history of all past hunts for all members, focusing on frequency of and the performance in espionage or investigative missions. But there was nobody whose performance deviated from expectation, like you would predict if they had such an ability. Such an ability might only be used in top secret missions or for jobs with third parties. But the results of the exam indicate otherwise. If there were an informant and they had prepared for someone with the ability to see through lies, Mujer the mercenary, Jund the biochemist, why wouldn't they have ensured that those two passed? Oh, he's talking about. I was still on Epstein's people. They're only thinking about Beyond's people. Both are top rated personnel. I even considered Jund as the mediator between the science and flora fauna teams. I doubted the machines when he flunked the first test. They sent someone capable of such an important post. Surely they would have taken measures had they known about our trap. Sure, they could be decoys to distract us from even more powerful spies, but there are infinite possibilities. What sets my alarm off is the idea that Patterson left so easily after he lost the election because his spy was already in place. I see. We could put them to the test secretly. If you desire, I will offer my assistance. Okay. So now they all get together. What now, Mizai? No newbies? Are we discussing bullying them? This is about their abilities, right? Speaking as a member of the defense team, the earlier we share information, the better. Yes, and incidental to that, there's something we must find out before the voyage. There might be a mole among us. Among us. Would you still be able to reveal your ability? Oh, dun dun dun. What are you saying? There can't be. Why would you say such a thing? Are you serious about this? And then he gets really angry, the tiger guy. If I had met Beyond before I heard about the chairman's mission, I would have gladly helped to make his dream a reality. And I wouldn't have changed my mind after I saw the chairman's video. It's a question of sequence. This isn't about suspicions or betrayals. Both standpoints are possible. That's why I'm asking if you'd still be able to reveal your ability. And then he says, I can. I use cards of 3 colors to restrict actions. Blue to admit them to the courtroom, yellow to put them under my control, and red to dismiss them. That's my ability. Cross game. I will carry out my mission whether or not someone here is in a different position. I'm talking about my resolve. Ah, he has the resolve. Okay. Pause, 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 pause. And now the informant is Sayu. According to Kurapika, the monkey guy. Well, that was fast. Faster than I expected to find out. I don't think I suspected him. I said it would be someone in the informant group, the information group, the intelligence group. Oh, Lord. So in this chapter, we had lots of interaction between Kurapika and the cow. We learned more about what's going on with the princes. You did, but you said it was too obvious and then changed your mind. Why? Why did I think it was obvious? What about the monkey is suspicious? The visuals are pretty insane. I literally care about nothing except all these princes just dying. I want all of them to just fall off the face of the planet. I don't even know all of them yet, but if they're anything like this brother and that brother, I just want to see them get, their asses kicked. From here, we switch to Kurapika 0, right? Dum, dum, dum. I'm quickly gonna roll. He said something like, I wanna survey beyond close or something. Oh, yes. I remember that. He wants to be the one to watch beyond. And I thought, well, don't give it away, dude. You want to be close to beyond. I wonder why. But then I felt, yeah, that's too obvious. Oh, I remember. So he's not a very good spy if he gives it away like that then. Unless he was thinking he did exactly what he wanted to do, which was look obvious. Which then made it look like if he was like double crossing. Like when they do that? Whoa, Richie rolled twice. Now I'm hungry. I have about I have like 40 more minutes. So, no, I have 35 more minutes. It takes me apparently 30 minutes to read a chapter though, so I think we can do like one more. Frankenfran. I'm not gonna lie, it does feel like a little bit frustrating to have to stop the story here now and go back to a side story or like a... Is it really, really necessary to read it today? Or I kind of want to read one more and then next week, Kurapika plus another. Wait, next week? I'm not sure if it'll be next week, actually. Let me just double check. Ooh, not next week because I'm not streaming for the next 2 Fridays. Oh, shit. Well, it won't be for the next 2 weeks. It'll be like... So... Man, this is tough. Do I want to read Kurapika or do I want to read more of the story? Because... Should I flip a coin? It's not like everyone read this in perfect chronological order, right? Jolly D, aren't you my go-to person for advice? Shoru, what do you think? Shoru says, I read it before starting the manga. So you went completely another way. Iro says, flip the coin. But I'm going to listen to Jolly D Joestar. I think one more chapter today. Alone Pre says, I never read the extra manga chapters. Obviously, you started the end and work backwards, no? In real life, this chapter came out after 339. Okay, so then let me experience it that way. I'll read 339 today. Big shout out to Booty for finding me the chapters. I did download them. I do have them. But I will read them next time. I'm just not sure when next time will be. But I'm going to try my best for somewhere. It's most likely the 21st of August, though. 339 is the end of the volume. Then let's do it. Let's read it. 339. I'm very invested in like, where's the story going? Can someone punch this mother trucker in the face? The faster the better. But I don't think it's gonna happen in the next chapter anyway. I just want to know, like, what next? Okay, 349. This chapter is called Worm Toxin. Wait, before we do the next chapter, Chapter 348 is another Togashi expects you to work for your degree in Hunter x Hunter politics chapter. It switches away from Jing and Pariston and back to Kurapika, Mizai the Hunter exam, and the Kakin princes. Right now, I'm very invested. I guess because of real world parallels, I'm really invested in just seeing the Kakin princes get their just desserts, because it feels frustrating that in real life we haven't really seen anyone be held accountable, have we? So I guess maybe it's like a projection. I want to see these princes at least be held accountable, you know? But also, there's this it's interesting that, you know, Kurapika and the Mizai Storm, they're all about beyond and beyond spies. It's are they are they overlooking the fact that, you know, there might be other people sending spies, or are they just not? Well, I guess the princes aren't, they don't really care about spies, but technically they do want people in the association, so they are kind of spies, but they're not looking for their spies, they're looking for beyond spies, right? Okay, but I need the recap. The main purpose of the chapter is Kurapika and Mizaistom discover that one of the zodiacs is secretly working against them. Chido's hunter exam is partly a recruitment process and partly who here is a spy. Kurapika is helping to screen the candidates using his dowsing chain. We know that, okay. But there's an important limitation. If someone genuinely believes that what they're saying is true, Kurapika's chain may not identify it as a lie. So that is how the prince circumvented this trap, right? Because he's so smart. But some of his brothers, people failed, and the other brothers didn't even send anyone. The Benjamin, the oldest brother, yeah, the oldest brother didn't. It was a pride thing, like you don't get to judge my people, I guess. And the other one says he doesn't want anyone to touch. Like it seems very like a weird thing there. Like they're all fucking weird, but that seems especially weird. Like maybe his guards or whatever, they're girls that he likes. They're very trained, maybe, but he doesn't want anyone touching them, you know? It's like kind of like in the wild, if you touch an animal, they might not be accepted back like a baby animal. The mother will smell that there's something weird on this kid and they won't accept them as their own. Something like that. She doesn't maybe recognize, but anyway, to him it's like he doesn't want to smell anyone's hands on his stuff, you know? That's my current interpretation of that. It might be wrong. So Kurapika asks Mizaistom whether any zodiac has an ability involving memory manipulation. He's considering, what if Paris implanted agents and altered their memories? Mizaistom doesn't know of any zodiac with that ability. But see, that's why I'm thinking they're so focused on beyond. But I guess they have no reason at this time to look for anyone else. Because they don't know about the king's thing. You know? They don't have to worry about that. That has nothing to do with them. The king, though, is making a Hunger Games with his own sons where they have to kill each other and the one survivor will be the next king. That's freaking crazy. Meanwhile, we get more of Sraidnik. We briefly switch to his perspective. The guy that Kurapika learned has the remaining scarlet eyes. His bodyguard, Seta, tells him that all 5 of his people passed. This matters because the princes are preparing their own personnel for the voyage. We learn that some princes sent bodyguards while others didn't. All of Prince Luzurusu's applicants failed. So he's not as smart as Soraidnik. And we get introduced to Benjamin, the first prince. Benjamin and Soraidnik clearly have a very loving sibling relationship. Benjamin, I'm going to be the king. Sraidnik, no, I'm going to kill all of you. So you can already see that this expedition has a second political conflict brewing inside the Kakin's royal family. Mizaistom realizes the bigger problem and starts thinking about Pariston's behavior. Pariston spent years accumulating influence inside the association, and then Netero died. Pariston won the election and immediately left. Why? Mizaistom suspects that Pariston could afford to walk away because he had already positioned people inside the association. So rather than only looking for spies among the new applicants, they have to consider, I mean, he's been here for years. They're already in. The call is coming from inside the house. So he tells he proposes everyone reveals their nin ability. But how does revealing your ability prove if you're a spy or not? He tells them that there may be a traitor. If that's true, are you still willing to reveal your ability? So revealing your ability proves you're not the traitor somehow. But I don't really think that makes sense. But Kurapika seems to have figured it out, so he's watching them through a monitor, secretly using his dowsing chain. They're basically running a covert lie detector test, and Sayu is the mole. Kurapika's chain identifies Sayu as the one who's lying. Importantly, they don't confront Sayu yet. Knowing who the spy is can be more useful than exposing him immediately. So, in one sentence, Kurapika helps Ms. Easton screen the expedition for Pariston's infiltrators. They realize the infiltration may reach all the way into the Zodiac, set the trap, and discover that Sayu is secretly an informant. So it was just having the conversation helped Kurapika spot who is acting sincerely and who is lying. So it didn't even. Okay. And a high stakes conversation about Nen abilities helped to kind of reveal the truth. So we're juggling three separate layers of scheming. Jing and Parsden fighting for control and influence within Beyond's team. The Zodiacs have tension with Beyond and Parsden. The association is supposed to contain him while his allies have infiltrated already. And the monkey is only one. There could be more. Like, not in the Zodiacs, but what about existing hunters? You know, they were screening new hunters for spies, but there might be already existing hunters that know Parsden, that he won the election. Those people voted for him. And then the Kakin princes, Benjamin, Sraidnik, and the royal family have their own power struggle. And the poor Kurapika has walked directly into the middle of it all because he wanted those damn scarlet eyes back. Shit. Next chapter. Worm toxin. It starts off with the Epstein guy. The scramble for the throne will be limited to only the children of legal wives of King Nasubi Hui Guoro, who board the black whale and take part in the departure ceremony. How many plan to enter? I'm terribly sorry, but I cannot tell you until the ceremony. The contest will be cancelled if any candidate dies before the ceremony. The contest will officially begin the moment the black whale finishes sounding its departure horn. Once it begins, the right to succession will not be questioned, no matter what measures you take to outlast the others. So the reason why this guy it hits so much home is because if you read about the Epstein stuff, like he had a lot of high ranking, high influence, very rich friends all over the world. And that doesn't mean every single person he talked to was a bad person, right? You could be friends with someone who did horrible things, but you wouldn't necessarily know unless you, obviously, you, if you go to their house, if you hang out, you might start getting weird feelings and whatnot. But you that's part of why it's so difficult to pin anyone down, because the moment you mention anyone's name associated with him, it's like accusations start flying and blah blah blah. But like stuff like this is, he sees himself as this holier than thou. He's got art and he understands music and philosophy. And if you read some of the emails, he had so many. Epstein was the same. He thought he had art books and expensive things hanging on the wall and this and that. Like he was like this guy, and that's why it's so. I wonder if it can't be. This was years and years ago, but it feels so on purpose. But I mean, back then, it's not like Togashi knew. Although there have been conspiracies for a long time. But the thing is, Epstein is not the first guy to be like this. There have been others. And I mean, there's even that book about some guy that he gets bored with life and he goes and he makes an island and he hunts people, right? What's that book called? So my point is, these kind of characters exist in fiction because they exist in real life. And it's just like, every time I see, now he's got this woman's body was hanging in the last chapter. And this guy was tattooing her body. Apparently there was like some kind of furniture designer, interior designer that was supposed to like design for rooms with bunk beds and stuff. And that guy got a weird feeling about what he was told to do, and he actually tried to come out and like whistleblow, I guess. But I don't think anything ever came of that. But like, imagine this tattoo guy. He had to tattoo, most likely. It's just so, doesn't it like overwhelm you? And this is why I couldn't like move to another chapter right now, because I need to get to the end of this. I need to see how this ends. Once it begins, the right to succession will not be questioned no matter what measures you take to outlast the others. The sole survivor will be the official heir to the throne. If you agree to those terms, offer a drop of blood to this urn and then insert your hand into the center. First Prince Benjamin, mother Unma. Second Prince Camilla, mother Duazul. Third Prince Zhang Lei, mother Tang Zhaoli. Officially, there is no ranking among the wives, and since gender normally has no bearing for succession, all the children are referred to as a prince, as in the nth prince in order of birth. There looks to be 8. And he's the 4th. Oh. Like, does it, like, this kind of like shocks you to your. Is that a head? Oh my god, no freaking way. So I haven't actually read the chapter, obviously, but I had it ready. There's 2, right? Here's the 1. Ooh, they have the same mother. So they're the first prince and the fourth prince are not half siblings, they're full siblings. So he has a throne made of the bones of people that he's killed. He's got a torso there, a torso there, a head, all the eyes. Disgusting. A full page dedicated to this motherfucker. Benjamin, Camilla, Zhang. And why does it say here like on the king's indulgence? What's that about? Like he's just his many wives or shows his indulgence? Okay, then the fifth prince is Tubepa, mother Duazu. So the second prince and the fifth prince have the same mother. Also, the seventh prince, Lazarus, and he's a smoker. And he's the one whose people fail the exam. Then there's Tyson, mother Katrono, and the eighth prince, Prince Sare, mother Swinko. And then the ninth prince, Hulkenberg, mother is also Duazul. So Duazul has 1, 2, 3, 4 kids. Oh, and there's more. 10th prince, Kacho. Uh, his mother is Seiko. 11th prince, Fugetsu. And these two look like they could be born very close together, or even like maybe like a year apart or something. They don't seem to be twins unless they're fraternal. What is it called? Like you get identical twins and you get fraternal twins. Identical is like they're one person that's split into two. Fraternal is like two separate people that just happen to be born at the same time. Or something. Anyway, they look very similar though. Even like back to back, the presentation makes them look like twins or something. So there's Kacho Fugetsu. And then the 12th is Momose, the mother Savanti. 13th is Marayam, mother Savanti. And 14th is Wobble, mother Oito. But he's so young that his mother is included in the picture with him, I guess. Tyson was the one that didn't want anyone to touch the guards. Tyson. Oh, this one. Oh, that's the opposite of what I expected, but it's what I expected, but it's not a guy that wanted no one to touch his female guards. It's a girly who didn't want anyone to touch her male stuff. It's my guys, don't touch. So Wobble won't be able to take part, I guess. Hopefully none of the kids are able to take part. But this is Hunter x Hunter, so. Now please insert your hand into the center of the urn. So he dropped some blood. It's not going to bite me, is it? Not to worry. So then he puts his hand in and it goes vroom, 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 vroom. And the little fairy comes out and pops a candy into his mouth. Is that it? Yes, that will do. Nothing happened. Was that some kind of ceremony? Indeed. The seed urn ceremony, part of the Kakin royal family tradition. It is believed that you will be granted a special power by providing your inheritance to the urn with blood and focusing on your desire for the crown. According to ancient manuscripts, the first king conjured this urn inspired by worm toxin. This succession contest may well be the historically correct use of the urn. With the ability of the urn, the children unaware will raise a spirit beast that will protect them. Each spirit beast takes after its vessel. A fragile, weak vessel cannot be king. The fuck? A Nen beast created at the time of death by the powerful desire for the a Nen beast created at the time of death by the powerful desire for the perpetuation of one's descendants, possesses someone closely related to the dead, feeds on his aura, and metamorphoses into a form and ability influenced by his disposition. However, since it was not his direct creation, it cannot be manipulated at will. Wait, what do you mean at the time of death? Oh my god. Okay, next we move on to Beyond, and he's eating his lunch. August 8th, the departure date is official. There are 35 days until then. And he's just chewing his lunch. Nom, 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 nom. King Hui Guoro petitioned directly to the V5 for you to attend the Eve festival and the departure ceremony. It would pain him to omit the man he owes greatly in this historical event. Tell me who's on your side among the zodiacs. Then I will permit you to attend the ceremony. You are mistaken on 2 counts. I don't know of any spy, and I care even less about any ceremonies. I eat and sleep here for a month, then board a boat. Spend 2 more months there and arrive at the proverbial new continent. I'll behave until then, for Huigoro's sake. What I'm interested in is what lies beyond, just like his namesake. I'd like to decline all annoying ceremonies. But to the public, I'm still a hero and a pioneer of the new world. Honor is important to Kakin, and if they pressure V5 and in turn you, their dogs, you will be begging me to attend. Pause. Beyond is telling the truth. He doesn't know about Sayu. That means Paris then is the mastermind, conspired with Sayu, and is plotting to take Beyond back. He's serious about what he says, and you can leave him alone until we get to the island. That's rather optimistic. Even if Beyond doesn't plan to escape, those two may encourage him. I don't think so. Beyond's contract with Kakin includes taking the civilians to the new continent. His wishes to highlight Hui Goro's achievement. He wishes to highlight, okay? He won't cause any problems on the route. If he breaks his promise and disappears, the V5 might turn the ship around, even if it means breaking things off with Kakin. I see. Beyond took the trouble to declare a truce to avoid such problems. Consequently, it wouldn't be wise for us to do anything about Sayu either. I agree, but I don't want to foolishly sit idle while they prepare to escape. Do you have a plan? I only watched the beginning of the video. Did Sayu reveal his ability? Yes. I used 3 Nen monkeys. See no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. Any idiot would get it. I like how the characters are explaining everything, like Kurapika is explaining to Mizai Storm, but it would be fun and interesting if he was also wrong on some counts, but we won't know until later. See no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. If their attacks succeed, they rob my foe of vision, hearing, and speech, respectively. It should work on Beyond too. I didn't want to say this if there's an enemy around. When a healthy person suddenly loses their three senses, it's impossible to activate or even maintain abilities. What's when a healthy person? So, what about an unhealthy person? What's funny is enhancers are rarely affected, but they panic the most. Their aura flow makes their moves obvious. My style is beating them senseless until once they're disabled. If this information leaks anywhere, I'm blaming you guys. Unlike right after your query, when he's talking about his ability, he's much more stable. He's resigned to stating just the facts. Contrary to his words, he's relieved that he doesn't have to lie. He's definitely telling the truth about his ability and he's on Beyond's side. I see. Everyone else is obviously nervous. Nervous about the risk of the spy finding out about their abilities. Suspicious but desiring to trust the others. The ambivalence is subtly affecting their body language. All stereotypical behavior of the innocent. The only spy is Sayu. The enemy doesn't know that we know. We should make the most of this advantage. Make no changes, but monitor Sayu with surveillance cameras and call logs. Find out what they're planning and secure evidence. So we're going to let them be. I suppose it's safer than breathing down their necks and tipping them off. Knowing Sayu's ability enables us to narrow down possible escape plans. From their perspective, it would be easier to escape after reaching our destination. To stop them with minimal risk, we should restrain Sayu right before landing. If we move too soon, they might come up with other means. The escape plot will likely be carried out right after the festival on the new continent. So there's going to be arrest Sayu there. Then there's the new continent. But then it's just before the actual dark continent where they're going. But the civilians will be dropped there on the way. So seize Sayu right before landing without Beyond noticing. It would be best if we could find some kind of proof before then. You'll be able to explain when the others ask what grounds you have for arresting Sayu. What if we have none? That's what I'd like to ask you. You'll have to admit I was involved. What then? There will be a lot of arguing. I'll surely be criticized because you acted on your own in league with the newcomer. That too, but I kept talking about resolve, yet I was secretly looking for the culprit. That in itself will upset most. While the ends are necessary, some consider the means important. And some are much more particular about the precise means. Enough to make them reconsider how the mission should work. On the Dark Continent, things might get that complicated. By sharing our abilities, our bonds have grown stronger. If they find out it was based on a farce, they might react badly. Okay, but he knows that and he's willing to take responsibility for it. This is the last page! Mizai, did you see Kakin's website? The Kakin princes are hiring bodyguards to guard them during the voyage. This is a problem. The hunters we rejected will come on board as guards. You can't tell which princes are hiring? No, only the salary is shown, and they keep reposting the amounts offered to one up each other. There are 6 offers. What does it mean, 6 offers? 6 brothers are hiring, essentially. Or 6 princes. And then this fuckface, sorry, At the end of the page, he's there. When I become king, my first order is to separate the people into two categories: useful trash and useless trash. There's a baby included. I feel like that baby is important because the baby is drawn with more detail than half the kids. Momose, Marayam, like they're all get this like one. The first three ones get like a panel which looks very cool, like this. The fourth guy gets a whole freaking page. Then five of them share a page, and then five of them share a page. But this kid, I feel like I'm interested. What is? Do they have a special power? Does the mother have a secret plan? Ooh. Because the guardian spirit beast. But I don't understand the part where it's like a Nen beast created at the time of the death by the powerful desire for the perpetuation of one's descendants. Let me read all this again. It's believed, so this is about the pot. It's believed that you will be granted a special power by proving your inheritance with blood and focusing on your desire for the crown. But it sounds like the power only activates after death. According to ancient manuscripts, the first king conjured this urn inspired by worm toxin. What is worm toxin? The succession contest may well be the historically correct use of this urn. With the ability of the urn, the children unaware will raise a spirit beast that will protect them. Each spirit beast takes after its vessel. But how will they raise the beast? But the beast only activates after they die? Is it so? And then it says here, it possesses someone closely related to the dead, feeds on his aura, and metamorphoses into a form and ability influenced by his disposition. However, since it was not his direct creation, it cannot be manipulated. So all of these people that put their hand into the urn will now be cultivating a beast, which will, once they die, possess another descendant. Yes, the first king died and made this, but now I'm trying to think about the current one. So they don't get the power, but they create a beast. Each one of them creates a beast that will, once they die, move on to someone else and possess them. So I'm trying to think here. This baby. Because you only need to survive, right? So one brother dies. Like there's two brothers that put their hand in, and each of them is creating this monster. It's their direct creation, but it's unaware. The children, unaware, raise a spirit beast that will protect them. But then when they die, it will possess someone closely related to the dead. It's gonna be important later. How many kids are there? Like 11? 14? 14. So that means no, wait, not all of them put their hand into the urn. Urn. Okay, well, I'm just gonna try and remember it. It's an interesting power. Very interesting. Possesses someone closely related. Metamorphoses into a form. An ability influenced by his disposition. So his being the person that it possesses. So then what does that say about this guy's personality? Influenced by his disposition. What does it say about his disposition? Oh, right, indulgence. So those are boobies. All the boobies of his wives. Hmm. Well, that was wild. Those were three, like, very information heavy chapters, but they were setting up some wild shit. I feel like I should have a cigarette now. That's like how I like. God. So I don't know. But anyway, it's time for. Sadly, I don't have a lot of time to discuss further. I'm going to have to recap that last chapter by myself before next week, the next read along. I will get to Kurapika's story, but right now it'll be more easy. I'm forced to take a break now. Next time I start with Kurapika and then continue, but it was just difficult today in the middle of reading this story with this kind of crazy stuff to just like suddenly be like, okay, wait, let me read something else now. Let me read something that pauses this. Like, okay, but my head hurts and my heart hurts. Next time, Kurapika's backstory and 350. Exactly. 2 chapters plus we continue the story. And that will begin a new volume, right? I have a volume, by the way. Let me just, if someone can help me remember. Wait a second. Oh no, it's behind figures. I got it. I have volume 38. What volume did we technically just finish? But I got this when I was in Japan like 2 years ago. It's still in its wrapping. I haven't like opened it. It's obviously in Japanese. I won't be able to read it. Maybe. So we just finished 33, so this is 38. So I still have a while to go before I can open you. Well, thank you guys. I hope it was interesting to see me spin out a little bit. I look forward to next time. I think so far it's like a very particular style of writing. It's very different to your average shonen. I mean, that's why people love it. But a lot of those people think that it makes it objectively better. I don't personally feel that way. I think it's different, and that's good. But yeah, I just wanted to say, like, I do think it is different in a good way. It's very unique. It's very, especially for the subject matter that is darker, more like in your face conspiracies, multiple people doing their own things. Um, and very interesting characters is at the moment it looks like Jing is supposed to be gone. Jing is supposed to be gone. Like we have Kurapika and Leorio in this chapter, and the Gon's story has for the time being reached like it's kind of a conclusion. Killua is searching for his kind of purpose in his own, so like it's like their part finished for now and now we're switching, but it's very difficult for any shonen to suddenly not have the MC there for a long time, right? I'm not saying I don't know when he comes back or if he comes back in this arc. I do know that the arc isn't over yet. So I'm guessing maybe he comes back, or the story at least kind of sometimes goes to him or something. But maybe he'll have to go to the Dark Continent to help at some point. But for now, it doesn't really feel like we completely lost Gon because we have Jing. So visually, he kind of looks like him. He kind of acts like you would imagine Gon acts as an adult. So it's like a way of you know when you wear a patch, you stop smoking and you try and wear a patch to wean yourself off. It's kind of like a weaning technique, I'm guessing. Like, but he's interesting. I'm just more invested right now in the whole Kakin thing. But beyond and the Dark Continent, I mean, who knows what's gonna happen. So thank you, and I'll see you next time for the next chapters.